We are hearing SRIMAD BHAGAVATAM. Today also you have noticed we have one new listener. Arjuna Prabhu from Germany. He encouraged him. His name is Adokshaja Prabhu. He is a disciple of Srila Bhakti Sadhak Muni Maharaj of Vienna. So it is very good to get the association of devotees. More the better, because in this age of Kali, my video is little delaying. In this age of Kali, it is beneficial to do congregational worship of Krishna. You will get more strength. In other ages, one could concentrate and they were determined and like this. But in Kali Yuga, generally we are spiritually weak and we have so many previous bad habits, samskaras and ignorance and all this. So even though we understand and we decide, yes, I will worship Krishna, but we find no strength alone. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur also he sang in that song, Ekaki Amar Nahi Pai Bol Harinama Sankirtan. Alone I am not getting strength. O Vaishnava Thakur, please be merciful to me, please bless me. You give me that power. So it is necessary in Kali Yuga, Parang Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. Sankirtanam means many together with one target, to satisfy Krishna. Then it is possible. If there are so many targets, then unity is not possible. It may be possible for that another target, but that will also be temporary for some time. Then again, they will quarrel among each other. Kali Yuga means age of quarrel. Because false egos and false interests. Our Parang Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Gosai Maharaj, he explained, if you draw circles around different centers, then inevitably those circumferences, circles, they will clash with another, they will cross. So this we see in this world, that is why it is forest fire. False ego, false desires, and clashing, inevitable. But in Golok Vrindavan, Krishna is the only master, all are his servants, all are to be enjoyed by him, he is the only enjoyer. So there is only one center of interest. Then around this one center of interest, you may have many circles, but they will never cross. Someone may serve less, someone may serve more, or bigger circle or lesser, but there will be no crossing. So this forest fire in this world, you remember in 10th Canto, Krishna Lila, there was a forest fire, two forest fires. Krishna rescued the cowherd boys and other Brajavasis. He drank that. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explained, this is due to this clashing of different groups, different individuals, or atheistic oppression like this. All this is happening. So only Krishna can save us from that. When we take unconditional shelter of him, then we will come to real ego. I am his eternal servant, and we will see all others also, all other living entities are his. They are not mine and for my satisfaction. They are his, they belong to him. So you cannot exploit anyone. So then we can come out. And we have practical example when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, in the mood of Radharani, to get the taste of her love and to distribute that to all, most merciful avatar. So when he was going towards Vrindavan, through Jharkhand forest in Bihar, there were wild forest animals there. Lions, tigers, snakes, and also other animals like deer, rabbit, birds even. They're all there. So his sevak, Balabhadra, was afraid. But Mahaprabhu was loudly chanting, Krishna, 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 Krishna hai. Krishna pahimam, Krishna trahimam, rakshamam, Rama Raga. All this he was singing from the core of heart, calling Krishna in separation grief. Then, when that sound entered through the air of those animals and touched their Atma, soul, then they were also awakened. They realized, oh, I am not a lion. I am eternal servant of Krishna. And he is not elephant. He's eternal servant of Krishna. He's my brother. So they were all awakened to their real self, above that nature of false self, false ego. From that false ego, all these false desires are coming. So they were all awakened. Awakened soul can awake other sleeping souls. If he himself is sleeping, how he can awake others? Not possible. So they were all awakened, and lion and deer, they were walking together. Although deer is a food of lion or a tiger, and rabbit is afraid of elephant, it will crush. But now they were all going together with no problem, with loving relation, and they were kissing each other also, and they were also chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra there. Why? Because they were awakened. So there is no disunity, no problem. Even ferocious animals being food of each other. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed this. It is possible to have unity, but on that transcendental platform. Then there is no problem. But immediately when we are in false ego, then clash is there. And in Kali Yuga, it is more. Because people, they are more in Tamogun and Rajogun, so they are always very greedy and violent and like this. So it is Kali Yuga, it is age of quarrel. It is inevitable. But though in Kali Yuga there are so many bad qualities, ocean of bad qualities, you cannot find limit. But Shukadeva Goswami said there is one good quality in Kali Yuga, very good quality, Mahan Guna, great good quality, that by Kirtan, Nam Kirtan, chanting the holy name, one can be rescued and can get ultimate destination. Means Golok Vrindavan, you can get the abode of God, Krishna you can get by chanting. That is why demigods also, they want to be born as humans in this Kali Yuga, and from other yugas also they want to be born, because it is so easy, easily available. Anyone at any time, in any condition, he can chant holy name. There is no restriction from his side. But we are hesitant. We have no liking due to the ignorance. But if we are in association of real devotees who are serving, then we get that inclination and strength in sadhu sangha. Then if we practice, go on practicing, then we can realize that real ego, real identity, and we can be in unity with all. We can adjust with all, like Prahlad Maharaj did. Pure devotion, so he could adjust with all. That we can achieve. So it is good to get association of devotees, and his name is Adokshaja. What is the meaning of Adokshaja? You will find that verse in Bhagavatam, we already heard. Svai Pungshach Paradharma Jato Bhaktir Adokshaja. Ahoituki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasidati. It is the topmost duty or dharma or religion, or religion and dharma not totally same meaning, but in simplified way. Topmost activity for all humanity is devotion to Adokshaja. How it should be done? Without any ulterior motives for any other cause except his satisfaction, and continuously, uninterruptedly. Then you can be fully satisfied. You can fully satisfy yourself, your Atma, yourself. You can be fully fulfilled. So who is Adokshaja? Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he made English translation, and he often used, and his followers also used that, because our Gurudev also many times said that this explanation sounds better in English, as Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur translated. Adokshaja is one who reserves a right of not being exposed to senses, human senses or these material senses. One who reserves the right of not being exposed means he is beyond the comprehension of our senses, because he is eternal. Our senses are non-eternal. How with non-eternal you can perceive something which is eternal? It is impossible. Either by gross senses or subtle senses, they are all non-eternal. You cannot see. He's beyond that. That is why that Rig Veda mantra says Tad Vishnu, Paramampadam. Vishnu, Supreme Lord, is Tat, that. Idam means this word. That means Tat, that. What is Tat is Sat, is eternal. The lotus feet of Vishnu are eternal. And Tad Vishnu Paramang Padam Sada Pashanti Suraya. All the emancipated, realized souls, they are always seeing those lotus feet, Supreme Lord. But now the important point is coming. Diviva Chakshuratatam. So he's a Dokshaja, so it is impossible to see him? No, it is possible to see him, but not with these material senses. But by his grace, with devotional, spiritual, eternal eyes of the soul, you can see him. They are always seeing, like with these eyes, we can see the sun when he arises. His sun is self-effulgent. Without his grace, you cannot see him. During night time, our Gurudev gave example, we have that experience that if we want to see something, we need the help of some light, then we can see. But if you gather all the lights of Europe, you cannot see the sun in night time. Impossible. You have to wait for the sun to rise. Then you don't need any light to light him up. He is self-effulgent, self-revealing. He has enough light. Only we have to open our eyes and receive that sun. Also, one story is told. One child was born in one cave or some prison dungeon that below the earth. So he had only this experience. If he wants to see something, he needs to use candle. So one day, the jailer told him, "Today I will show you the sun." Then that boy said, "Okay, wait, I will take the candle." Then the jailer said, "You don't need candle to see the sun." They said, why you are saying like this? Of course you need. You cannot see anything without the help of candle. How otherwise you can see? No, that is different. No, I don't believe. It is my experience. I did not hear from others. It is my personal experience. So it is true. If you want to see something, you need candle. Then forcefully the jailer took him out and he showed him the sun. Then when he saw the sun, child, then he understood, oh, this is like this. That was beyond his experience. So he could not believe it. But when he got that experience, then he understood what the jailer meant. Before he did not understand. Like that, we cannot see God by means of our gross senses, eyes, ears, these things, nor subtle sense organs, mind, intelligence, false ego. You cannot perceive. That therefore his name is Adokshaja, beyond this. But that does not mean that he does not exist. He exists, and that does not mean that you cannot see him. You can see him by his grace with your spiritual, eternal, devotional eyes. That is why Rupa Goswami wrote that verse in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Atah Shri Krishna Namadi na bhavet grajyam indre sevan mukhe hi jivadav swayameva spuratada. Krishna's transcendental name, form, attributes, associates, pastimes, dham, abode, cannot be perceived with these non-eternal senses. But sevan mukhe hi jivadav, if you use these senses under the guidance of pure devotee for the service of Krishna, then Krishna, by his own will, Swayam, Spuratada, he will reveal himself to such a devotee who is inclined to serve him. Then he can see, he can smell, he can touch everything. He can have direct contact with Krishna through pure devotee. Those transcendental senses will be awakened, then you can see. So how we can, that verse also in Brahma Samhita is Bhakti Vilochanena. With Bhakti you can see, or Prema Netra, with the eyes of love. So how we will awaken that? Rupa Goswami also he told, Kriti sadhya bhavet sadhya bhavasa sadhana vidanitya siddhasya vasa prakritam hridi sadhyata. Or in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Nitya Siddha Krishna Prem Sadhya Kabunoy Shravanadi Shuddha Chitta Koroya Udoy. This love for Krishna is already dormant in every Atma, because we have eternal relation with him. We are coming from him. Jatavai Mani Bhutani Jayani. We are coming from him. So that relationship is eternal. But due to misuse of our relative independence, we wanted to enjoy this Maya, so we covered. so we cannot perceive. But if we practice sadhana bhakti under the guidance of pure devotee, then that eternal devotion will manifest, will be revealed in our heart. Then we can see Krishna's name, format, all we can see, and serve him with those senses, transcendental senses. So we have to do that sadhana bhakti. We have to become sadhak, like Srila Bhakti, Sadhak Muni Maharaj. Srila Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Gosai Maharaj used to praise him that he is serving everyone, like Ambarish Maharaj, serving everyone with all senses, with everything, serving. So, the sadhana bhakti, according to Bhagavatam, there are 9 forms of devotion. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, the 9, you know. Rupa Goswami, he explained it in these 9, in 64 limbs of devotion. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said 5: Sadhu Sangha, Nama Kirtan, Bhagavat Shravan, Mathurabha Shri Murtir Shraddha Seva, means association with devotees, chanting of holy name, hearing Bhagavatam, residing in holy place, Mathura, or where devotees are residing, and serving deity with faith, deity of Krishna. These 5. Of these 5, Nama Sankirtan is the best, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told. So, but we are not inclined to all the time chant Harinam. We have no taste. So, other forms of devotion also, they engage us to catch our mind. So, there are many Shastras, Vedas, Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Mahabharata, Ramayana, then Puranas. But the essence of all is in Bhagavatam. That is the final work of Vyasadeva. He got eternal bliss because directly he explained about pure devotion in a very vivid way. So Mahaprabhu told, you hear Bhagavatam, Bhagavat Shravan. He particularized, you should hear Bhagavatam. That is one kind of devotion to Supreme Lord. With devotion you should hear. Mahaprabhu himself was hearing Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit Goswami Radharani. And he used to explain also Bhagavatam. And Chaitanya Charitamrita is based on Bhagavatam. All Goswamis, 6 Goswamis, they wrote all Shastras. They are actually commentaries on Bhagavatam. The points of Bhagavatam they explained and also gave other Shastric evidences to support. So everything is about Bhagavatam in Chaitanya school. And Vyasadeva, our Gurudev, used to repeat this verse. Shrinvata Shraddhaya Nityam Grinata Cha Svacheshtitam Nati Dirgena Kalena Bhagavan Vishati Hridi. Vyasadeva, our Gurudev, used to tell this. I am reminding myself. you have to hear Bhagavatam with firm belief that Krishna is only master and enjoyer. By serving him, we serve all. With this firm faith, you should hear Bhagavatam, Shrinvata Shraddha and Nityam. Nityam can have many meanings. One is regularly, one is daily, one is always. Shrinvata Shraddha Nityam, Grinatascha Cheshtitam. You have to accept this practice and also apply that in your life. The teaching. Nati Dirgena Kalena Bhagavan Vishatihri. Then very quickly, Supreme Lord will appear in your heart. He will reveal himself there. You will realize him and who you are in relation to him. Your eternal relation you will realize. So we have to hear. Our Gurudev said, Vyasadeva is our Guru. He is ordering us. So if we don't do it, then what he will think is our Guru, Vyasadeva. And there is another that verse, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, that Abhadra, that verse I forgot now. The line there is, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. You have to daily serve Bhagavatam. Means devotee and scripture. Then you will get stable or continuous devotion. When your anarthas will be removed, ulterior desires, other desires other than service of Krishna will be removed, then you will be constant in the service of Krishna. Bhavata Bhaktir Naishtiki. It will come, that Nishta. So this is one kind of practice. We have to hear Bhagavatam from real Bhagavat, means from real devotee. Then we can get that purification of heart and awakenment of devotion. To whom? To Adokshaja, Supreme Lord, who is beyond the perception of these non-eternal senses. When we have constant ahoituki apratihata, constant and without any other desires, devotion to Adokshaja, then we can be fully satisfied. That is the only way to satisfy ourselves, and that is the only thing we want. Every living entity wants to remove suffering and to get full bliss. So there is only one way given here, revealed by Krishna himself and by his devotees, by engaging ourselves in the service of Krishna. So this is one kind of sadhana practice, to hear Bhagavatam in association of devotees, and by this we can awaken devotion to Krishna, and also we will get all knowledge, what we require. Devotees are not foolish. They know everything. By knowing Krishna, they know everything. So we are in first canto now, chapter 15. Yesterday we heard now Arjuna is telling to Yudhishthira Maharaj that what is the real reason I am remorse and I have no power, because whatever I could do, it was due to presence of Krishna and him giving me all the power. Now I lost everything. So he told, great generals like Bhishma, Drona, Karna, Bhurishrava, Susharma, Shalya, Jayadratha and Bahlika all directed their invincible weapons against me. but by his, means Lord Krishna's grace, they could not even touch a hair on my head. Similarly, Prahlad Maharaj, the supreme devotee of Lord Nrsingadev, was unaffected by the weapons the demons used against him. Yesterday I explained. Krishna is the root cause of everything. He decides whether sword will pierce or not. He decides everything. So if he wants, they may use sword against Prahlad, but that sword will not cut if Krishna does not want. Sauti vritah kumati natmada ishvaro me yat pada padmam abhavaya bhajanti bhavya mam shranta vaham arayo ratino bhuvistam na praharan yat anubhava nirasta chitaha. It was by his mercy only that my enemies neglected to kill me when I descended from my chariot to get water for my thirsty horses. And it was due to my lack of esteem for my Lord that I dared engage him as my chariot driver. For he is worshipped and offered services by the best man to attain salvation. Only Krishna can give salvation, no one else. Because we are bound due to being averse to Krishna. That is the root cause of bondage. Only by submitting to him we can be released from Maya. That is his Maya. She's working on us because of our fault, not that forcefully. No. When we rectify our fault, we become inclined to serve Krishna, then Maya will give us up. We will be liberated from her and all sufferings, and we can get absolute bliss. There was that Katanga Raja. He fought on the side of demigods to defeat the demons, and they did. Then demigods were very pleased with him. Then they offered him many boons to the king, Katanga. We can give you these weapons, we can give you money, gold, horses, beautiful ladies for marriage. Whatever you want, health, we can give you everything. You say what you want. Then Katanga Raja asked, how long will I live? You tell me. Then one astrologer demigod came and said, only one muhurta. Muhurta means it can mean 48 minutes, it can mean 24 minutes, or it can mean 1 moment. So very short. Then that Katanga said, then what is the use of all these things? You should rescue me from death. Then they said that we cannot give. We are unable to give that boon. Only Vishnu can give. Then immediately Katanga left all demigods and with all their offerings, everything. No use. He came to Vishnu and completely surrendered to Vishnu, and in a moment he got salvation and devotion to Vishnu. In a moment. It is possible for everyone. When we completely surrender, that same moment you will get. Once, one devotee asked our Gurudev, we read in Shastra, Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Koi. Chaitanya Charitamrita. And in Bhagavatam also in Sanskrit is there. One moment of Sadhu Sangha can give you all perfection. Then she said, but what is the meaning of this one moment of sadhu sangha? She did not directly express, but it was understood from her question that she meant to say, I am associating with sadhu so much, but why am not getting all perfections? So she asked, what is the meaning of this one moment? Then Gurudev explained, yes, when we get sadhu sangha, then we get a clue about who we are, who is Supreme Lord, why we are in bondage, and how we can come out. This we can get clue by the grace of sadhu, realized soul. But we have to execute that. We have to follow that. That moment when we will follow that, we will get perfection. We have to follow. That is the point. What sadhu says. And then Gurudev also explained there are many degrees of following, but when we will unconditionally surrender, then we will get all perfection that moment, without any delay. From Krishna's side, there is no delay. It is our hesitation which is delaying. So Arjuna understood when he is in the mood of his friend, in that bhav, then he is telling Krishna, you drive my chariot, like this. But when he is in the mood of Aishwarya, then he is thinking, oh, I should not behave like that with him, and he is Supreme Lord, and all are worshipping him, forgetting salvation. But that open reverence Aishwarya will prevent intimate, sweet, delightful relation in Raga Marg. So first, we have to hear about Supreme Lord to understand that we are his eternal servant. We should engage in his service to purify our all attachments and ignorance and all this. Then Vidhi Marga Rata Jane Swadhinata Ratnana Raga Margi Korana Pravesh. When you will follow that Vidhi Marg in awe and reverence, you will worship him. When you will come to that platform of purity, then you can enter into Raga Marg. Then another conception of Krishna will descend to you by the grace of Brajavasis, residents of Vrindavan. Then you will not see Krishna as Supreme Lord, but as your friend or like that has to descend. It has to be genuine spiritual emotion from Brajavasi. Then you can understand that difference of worship or worship and love. You can understand. It should not be imaginary or mixed with some other things like this. So gradually we can get. Narmani udara ruchira smita shobitani he parta herjuna sake kurunan daneti sanjalpitani naradeva hridis prishani smartur ludhanti hridaya mama madavasya. O king, his jokings and frank talks were pleasing and beautifully decorated with smiles. His addresses unto me as, O son of Prita, O friend, O son of the Kuru dynasty, and all such heartiness are now remembered by me, and thus I am overwhelmed. Shajja Sanatana, Shajja Sanatana Vikhatana Bojanadishu Aikyat Vayasya Ritavan iti Vipralabda Sakyu Sakeva pitrivat tanayasya sarvam sehe mahan mahitaya kumater agham me. Generally, both of us used to live together and sleep, sit and loiter together. And at the time of advertising oneself for acts of chivalry, sometimes if there were any irregularity, I used to reproach him by saying, "My friend, you are very truthful." Even in those hours when his value was minimized, he, being the Supreme Soul, used to tolerate all those utterings of mine, excusing me exactly as a true friend excuses his true friend, or a father excuses his son. That is intimate, sweet, delightful relation. Soham nripendra rahitah purushottamena sakya priyena suhrida hridayena shunya advani urukrama parigraham angarakshan gopair asadbir abaleva vinirjitosmi. O Emperor, now I am separated from my friend and their most well-wisher, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore my heart appears to be void of everything. In his absence, I have been defeated by a number of infidel cowherd men while I was guarding the bodies of all the wives of Krishna. Here I will read the commentary by Srila Sai Maharaj. The important point in this verse is how it was possible that Arjuna could be defeated by a gang of ignoble cowherd men, and how such mundane cowherd men could touch the bodies of the wives of Lord Krishna who were under the protection of Arjuna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has justified the contradiction by researching the Vishnu Puran and Brahma Puran. In these Puranas it is said that once the fair denizens of heaven pleased Ashtavakra Muni by their service and were blessed by the Muni to have the Supreme Lord as their husband. Ashtavakra Muni was curved in 8 joints of his body, and thus he used to move in a peculiar curved manner. The daughters of the demigods could not check their laughter upon seeing the movements of the Muni, and the Muni, being angry at them, cursed them that they would be kidnapped by rogues, even if they would get the Lord as their husband. Later on, the girls again satisfied the Muni by their prayers, and the Muni blessed them that they would regain their husband even after being robbed by the rogues. So, in order to keep the words of the great Muni, the Lord himself kidnapped his wives from the protection of Arjuna, otherwise they would have at once vanished from the scene as soon as they were touched by the rogues. Besides that, some of the gopis who prayed to become wives of the Lord returned to their respective positions after their desire was fulfilled. After the departure of Lord Krishna, he wanted all his entourage back to Godhead, and they were called back under different conditions only. So as I told some days back, our Gurudev explained, when Krishna withdraws the power, then no one can do anything. Arjuna could not lift his Gandiva bow even, because that was Krishna's Leela. He's regulating everything. So no one can do anything independently of him. So always we have to surrender, and we have to surrender to pure devotees. By their grace only we can have enthusiasm to serve Krishna, and we can get service of Krishna, not independently. Immediately when we become proud, I am devotee, then we lose everything. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sang in that song, Amito Vaishnav ebudi hoile amani nahoboami. Pratishtasa asi hridoya dushive hoibu niroyagami. If I think I am a Vaishnav, then I cannot be in this mood of not wanting respect from others. Amani nahoboami. It is impossible. I am Vaishnav, everyone should serve me, should praise me, should give jai to me, should give garland to me. Pratishtasha asi, that desire for respect will come in my heart and it will pollute my heart. And I will have to go to hell, means I will have to suffer. And then further in that song is, I am giving my remnants to others. I am speaking my advices to others, giving instructions, all this I am giving. And my false ego is only gaining weight. Burden is increased. So that is dangerous for sadhakas. This desire for name and fame. Someone may have name and fame like I am very beautiful, I am rich, I am from such family, I have so many universities, degrees, all these things. We can be proud. But in devotion, also we can be proud. I know so much Shastra. I am long time devotee. I am best devotee. All this sort of pride may come, false pride. Then that will block our progress for service. We don't want to serve Krishna, we want to enjoy. So that will block, and we may commit offense also to Vaishnavas. Then that will be a block. So this we have to be careful. I am Vaishnav. No, I am a servant of Vaishnav. Without his grace, I cannot do anything. It is a fact. So Srila Sridhar Maharaj told, we always have to have association of superior devotees to check our pride. Otherwise that may grow. But they will show us the reality. So that is necessary. So here also we see Arjuna made this pastime of not being able to even lift his Gandiva bow because it was Krishna's desire like that. So no one can do anything. So we should not be proud. For our devotion, we are dependent on Gurudev and Vaishnavas. For Sarup Shakti, we are marginal potency, Tatashta Shakti, we are dependent on them. Immediately when I think I am Guru, I am Vaishnava, I am this, then I lose everything. Those who are serving as Gurus, they are doing that as a service to their Guru and to Krishna, to satisfy them, not to enjoy. I am Guru, you worship me, you give me garland. No, that is not their internal disposition. Their internal disposition is service of Krishna. Our Gurudev explained, because Parang Gurudev told, Krishna loves all jivas and he does not like to see jivas suffer in this world due to they misuse their relative independence, they wanted to enjoy, so what to do, and now they have to suffer. Krishna does not like to see this. So if some devotee, he tries to persuade that jiva to give up that and come to serve Krishna, then Krishna will be very happy. So in order to satisfy Krishna, they are doing this, serving as gurus, to satisfy Krishna, to satisfy their gurus. They are doing this, not for any money or not for anything, for any enjoyment. Even when their disciples, they will serve them and worship them like this, they will offer everything to their Gurudev, not enjoying themselves. Never. And their target is only satisfaction of Krishna. Like one son of a king is lost somewhere and he has to beg for his food. He's in trouble. But some minister found that son and he brought him back to king. Then king will be very happy. And that son will have no problem anymore because everything he has now. So like that, real devotee, his target is to satisfy Krishna, to bring souls for his service. Krishna will be happy, and those jivas, they will get their eternal welfare. So out of compassion, that is their only target, not any other things. If there are some other motives there, then he cannot be guru. And guru never thinks I am guru, as enjoyer, as ego, no. Always servant of Guru Parampara, of Krishna. They are doing that as a service. So tomorrow we will further hear in Bhagavatam.